Content warning. This video talks about death, nothing gory or gruesome, just the fact that it does exist. If you're sensitive, sit this one out. Apple made some huge announcements this year, from the iPhone to the iMac to the MacBook Pros and the new iPad mini. But the most important announcement, in my opinion, was Apple Digital Legacy. What is it? How do you use it? And why it's important? Let's get into that. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and today we're talking about Apple Digital Legacy. What is Apple Digital Legacy? Think of it as a digital will for all your digital assets, like pictures and notes and things that you keep in the iCloud. What you do before you die, you have a contact, you go through the process, and you designate them that upon your death, with the QR code that the process generates and your death certificate, they can retrieve all the stuff you keep on your iCloud. It doesn't let them get on your iPhone or anything that's on there, like your keychain or anything that's a device-based storage. Anything's on the cloud, yeah. Anything on the device, no. The person doesn't necessarily have to have an Apple device, but they need to at least have an Apple account. You can create a free Apple account if the person doesn't have an Apple device. Any device with iOS 15 can do digital legacy. At the time of this recording, it's not available, but Apple has released some information on how to do it once it becomes available. And I'll walk you through that right now. So on your Apple device, you need to go to settings. And when you go to settings, you need to go to your name at the top of the left column. Click on that, and then you'll see the second or third one, password security. Click that. So under where it says account recovery is where you're going to access digital legacy whenever it shows up. You pick which contacts you want to access your data after you die. It sends them a QR code. So once you pass away, they can take the QR code and the death certificate, turn it into Apple. Apple does whatever they do to it, and they get access to anything that's in your iCloud, your photos, your notes, things like that. So why is this important? Let me give you a quick story and then give you an analysis on the back end on why I think that digital legacy is important. I used to work for a authorized retailer called Cellular Sales. They were authorized retailers for Verizon. So one day I was working at the store and this lady came in. She had to be an older lady, and she had this very serious look on her face. Okay, so I was helping another customer, and once I was done with that customer, she approached me and she was like, I need your help. So she sat down and I was like, how can I help you? She was like, my husband recently passed away, and he kept all our banking information, all the bill information, all access to the accounts, all the passwords on his phone. But this was after iOS 6. iOS 6 was the last one that you could restart the phone and you didn't have like Find My iPhone or that iPhone iCloud lock on it, right? And she was like, you know, all the information that I need is on this phone. Can you help me? I was like, sure. Me being naive, I was like, do you have the death certificate? Oh yeah, of course. So she has the death certificate and has the phone. So we call up Apple. And I don't know if you could at that time, but we called them up and I told them the situation, and they were like, well, she's not the owner of your account. We can't help her. I was like, it's got to be something you can do. The lady on the phone would not budge, would not help. Me being in retail, I know that, you know, if I hang up and call back, it's happened a bunch of times that maybe I can get somebody to help me. So we did that 4 times and nobody was able to help us. I understand it's a privacy issue, but the lady didn't have access to any banking information or anything like that. And I know what you're saying. Maybe the husband should have had that available for her. I get that. But just like regular wills in life, a lot of people don't plan on what happens after they die. And that goes for digital assets also. My best friend's father passed away and didn't have a will, and it took them 7 years to settle everything because he didn't have a will. So think of digital legacy as a digital will for assets that Apple holds. So how long does Apple keep your information? Well, if you look at some of the privacy guidelines and some discussions that happen on Apple forums, it's a widespread. Some people say it's 2 years. On some privacy statements, they say up to 10 years. So I say in between 2 to 10 years. Why can't Apple just keep things indefinitely? Good point. Apple faces the same challenges that librarians and digital archivists face also. You only have so much resources. So if you have a finite number of resources, we're talking about storage in this case, what's important and what's not important? Because it's at a point where you're going to have to make a tough decision, like librarians do it all the time. I go to my local library and they always have books for sale. Like, how do you determine what's valuable and what's not? Like, how do you take a book that somebody who probably spent years of hard work and time and dedication and just say, you know what, this isn't of value anymore, and just get rid of it? How do you know that this information is going to be of value in the future? You have to have these hard set rules in here just to make the services better for everybody else. Because if digital companies or libraries kept all the stuff they will have, they would run out of space. You can't just keep all the information. You have to clear it out. And by making sure that your loved ones can access pictures and notes and things like that, I mean, it goes to somebody who can use it instead of going to the wasteland of unreclaimed digital media. And having these digital assets, to me, they're a little more volatile than having pictures or physical media like SD cards or floppy disk or things like that. So there's a TikTok account called Museum of Lost Memories, where this person goes to different thrift shops and find boxes of photos or cameras that have SD cards in them and go through them and see these memories. Having most of our lives on the internet, I'm not sure these memories will be as recoverable. I consider myself a historian. From a historian perspective, sometimes 2 to 10 years isn't enough time to realize that photos or digital notes and things are of value. And unlike back in the past when people wrote things in diaries and journals and things like that, you can't just go 100 years and find a digital notes from Apple and be like, oh, this is a big discovery from how this person thought. Or you see what I'm saying? You lose that. So having digital legacy there, you can pass this information down. But I love seeing pictures of people I knew before I knew them and how they lived life. It's such an interesting thing. And digital legacy allows you to do this because family albums aren't a thing anymore. Everything's digital. It preserves that legacy of passing pictures down so future generations can see how they lived or appreciate the ones that came before them. Hey guys, that's it. Thanks for joining me. If you like this type of video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this type of video, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why you didn't like this type of video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.